Hello dear friends, Assalamu alaikum and viewers also Assalamu alaikum. I pleader Javed Ali Salro, the High Court. Today once again I am in front of you to explain and share the authentical knowledge, the essential knowledge, the reality from textbook of Constitution of Pakistan 1973. Again and again I mention so that you should have to keep in your mind that the knowledge not coming my own through my own words, it is coming through the textbook of Constitution wording language. So whatever present in the textbook of Constitution 1973 I would like to provide you again and again. I would like to recalling you that we are on part 4 of Constitution of Pakistan 1973, and part 4 is consisting on the provinces. We know about this, and after all the part 4 chapter 1, which was about the governors, has been completed, and chapter 2 is going on, and chapter 2 is, according to your knowledge, that chapter 2 was about the provincial assemblies, and provincial assemblies was started from the article 106 to 106 to 117. It was about the provincial assemblies. No, so this topic of provincial assemblies was completed from article 106 to 117. Now we are moving towards another topic of the chapter 2nd of Constitution of Pakistan 1973. I already discussed in previous lecture about the title of that topic. The title was financial procedure. I previously mentioned so financial procedure. Today we are going to reading about the financial procedure, which is totally authentical and essential, जो कि बिल्कुल वाजे है, जो कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान 1973 की वर्डिंग के मुताबिक मैं आपके सामने शेयर करने वाला हूं. और जो फाइनेंशियल प्रोसीजर है वो आर्टिकल 118 टू 127 तक महदूद है. तो आज हम उसके बारे में पढ़ते हैं. सो लेट्स मूव एंड लेट्स एंजॉय from the textbook of the Constitution of Pakistan 1973. Come on. So article 118, provincial consolidated fund and public account. Article 118, subarticle 1, all revenues received by the provincial government, all loans raised by the government, and all monies received by it in repayment of any loan shall form part of a consolidated fund to be known as the provincial consolidated fund. Class 2 of article 118. All other money is about. So subarticle 2, class A, received by or on behalf of the provincial government, or class B, received by or deposited with the High Court or any other court established under the authority of the province, shall be credited to the public account of the province. Article 119, custody etc. of provincial consolidated fund and public account. So let's move and read out from article 119 of the Constitution of Pakistan 1973. The custody of the provincial consolidated fund, the payment of monies into that fund, the withdrawal of monies therefrom, the custody of other monies received by or on behalf of the provincial government, their payment into and withdrawal from the public account of the province, and all matters connected with or ancillary to the matters aforesaid shall be regulated by act of the provincial assembly, or until provision in that behalf is so made by rules made by the governor. Article sub 120, annual budget statement. 120, article subarticle 1, the provincial government shall, in respect of every financial year, cause to be laid before the provincial assembly a statement of the established estimated receipts and expenditure of the provincial government for that year in this chapter referred to as the annual budget statement. Subarticle 2 of Article 120. The annual budget statement shall show separately, Class A, the sums required to meet expenditure described by the Constitution is expenditure charged upon the provincial consolidated fund, and Class B, the sums required to meet other expenditure purposed to be made from the provincial consolidated fund, and shall distinguish expenditure on revenue account from other expenditure. Article 121, expenditure charged upon provincial consolidated fund. The following expenditure shall be expenditure charged upon the provincial consolidated fund. Class A, the remuneration payable to the governor and other expenditure relating to this office, and the remuneration payable to subclass 1 of Class A, Article 121, the judges of the High Court, and subarticle subclass 2, the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Provincial Assembly. Class B, the administrative expenses including the remuneration payable to the officers and servants of the High Court and the Secretarial of the Provincial Assembly. Class C, all debt charges for which the provincial government is liable, including interests, sinking fund changes, the repayment or amortization of capital and other expenditure in connection with the raising of loans and the service and redemption of debt on the security of the provincial consolidated fund. Class D, any sums required to satisfy any judgment, decree or award against the province by any court or tribunal. And Class E, any other sums declared by the Constitution or by Act of the Provincial Assembly to be so charged. Article 122, procedure relating to annual budget statement. Article 122, subarticle 1, so much of the annual budget statement is relates to expenditure charged upon the provincial consolidated fund may be discussed in but shall not be submitted to the vote of the provincial assembly. Subarticle 2, so much of the annual budget statement is relates to other expenditure shall be submitted to the provincial assembly in the terms of demands for grants, and that assembly shall have power to assent to or to refuse to assent to any demand or to assent to any demand subject to a reduction of the amount specified therein. Subarticle 3, no demand for grant shall be made except on the recommendation of the provincial government. Article 123, authentication of schedule of authorized expenditure. Article 123, subarticle 1, the chief minister shall authenticate by his signature a schedule specified. Class A of Article 123, the grants made are deemed to have been made by the provincial assembly under Article 122. And Class B, the several sums required to meet the expenditure charged upon the provincial consolidated fund but not exceeding, in the case of any sum, the sum shown in the statement previously laid before the assembly. Subarticle 2, the schedule so authenticated shall be laid before the provincial assembly but shall not be open to discussion or vote thereon. Subarticle 3, subject to the Constitution, no expenditure from the provincial consolidated fund shall be deemed to be duly authorized unless it is specified in the schedule so authenticated, and such schedule is laid before the provincial assembly as required by Class 2. Article 124, supplementary and access grant. If in respect of any financial year it is found, Class A, that the amount authorized to be expended for a particular service for the current financial year is insufficient, or that a need has arisen for expenditure upon some new service not included in the annual budget statement for the year, or class B, that any money has been spent on any service during a financial year in excess of the amount granted for that service for that year. That provincial government shall have power to authorize expenditure from the provincial consolidated fund, whether the expenditure is charged by the constitution upon that fund or not, and shall cause to be laid before the provincial assembly a supplementary budget statement, or, as the case may be, an excess budget statement setting out the amount of that expenditure. The provisions of article 120 to 123 shall apply to those statements, and they apply to the annual budget statement. Article 125, votes on account. Notwithstanding anything contained in the foregoing provisions relating to financial matters, the Provincial Assembly shall have power to make any grant in advance in respect of their estimated expenditure for a part of any financial year not exceeding 3 months, pending completion of the procedure prescribed in Article 122 for the voting of such grant and the authentication of the schedule of expenditure in accordance with the provisions of Article 123 in relation to the expenditure. Article 126, power to authorize expenditure when assembly stands dissolved. Very important. Notwithstanding anything contained in the foregoing provisions relating to financial matters, at any time when the provincial assembly stands dissolved, the provincial government may authorize expenditure from the provincial consolidated fund in the respect of the estimated expenditure for a period not exceeding 4 months in the financial year, pending completion of the procedure prescribed in Article 122 for the voting of grants and the authentication of the schedule of authorized expenditure in accordance with the provisions of Article 123 in relation to the expenditure. Article 127, provisions relating to National Assembly etc. to apply to Provincial Assembly etc. Subject to the Constitution, the provisions of Class 2 to 8 of Article 53, Classes 2 and 3 of Article 54, Article 55, Article 63 to 67, Article 69, Article 77, Article 87 and Article 88 shall apply to and in relation to a provincial assembly or a committee or members thereof or the provincial government, but so that आगे चलने के से पहले मैं आपको बताता चलूँगा ये जो आर्टिकल्स मैंने डिस्कस्ड किए ये अपना इस पे आर्टिकल 127 पे अप्लाई होने हैं, ठीक है। अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान की खुद की लैंग्वेज है, उसी को मैं मॉडिफाई करके अपना उर्दू में भी आप तक अपना पहुंचाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं। जो इजी है वो तो इजी है, आई होप सो यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट। So now Article 127 Class A, any reference in those provisions to Majlis Shura, Parliament, a House or the National Assembly shall be read as a reference to the Provincial Assembly. Class B, any reference in those provisions to the President shall be read as a reference to the Governor of the province. Wow. Article 127 sub Class C, any reference in those provisions to the federal government shall be read as a reference to the provincial government. Class D, any reference in those provisions to the Prime Minister shall be read as a reference to the Chief Minister. Class E, any reference in those provisions to a federal minister shall be read as a reference to the provincial minister. Very simple. Class F, any reference in those provisions to the National Assembly of Pakistan shall be read as a reference to the Provincial Assembly in existence immediately before the commencing day. And Class G, the said Class 2 of Article 54 shall have effect as if in the proviso thereto for the words 130. The word 100 were substituted. So the part or topic or the thing which I explained before you has been completed, which was starting from the article 118 to article 127, and the topic was financial procedure has been completed. Now wait for another topic. Another topic title I would like to share with you कि आपको याद होना चाहिए, उसकी तैयारी कर लीजिएगा, उसको थोड़ा पढ़ लीजिएगा, फिर मैं आप तक आ जाऊंगा। तो टाइटल है अपना जो पार्ट है अपना, अच्छा पार्ट 4 ही चल रहा है और चैप्टर 2 चल रहा है। तो ये टाइटल है एक अपना आर्डिनेंसेस का टाइटल है। तो इसको अपना मज़ीद आगे हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में पढ़ेंगे, जो कि आर्टिकल 128 पे मुश्तमिल है। सिंगल आर्टिकल है बट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है और बहुत सारी नॉलेज है, ढेर सारी नॉलेज है इसमें। तो इसको आप भी थोड़ा रीड आउट कर लीजिएगा। बाकी नेक्स्ट सोन आई विल बी डिलीवर द थिंग आफ्टर today to you viewers, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much. If you have any kind of difficulty, you may comment me. I will modify that as जैसे मैंने अपना लैंग्वेज को थोड़ा मॉडिफाई किया है। तो अगर ऐसी कोई भी आपके जहन में जो है ग्रीवेंस है तो आप मुझ तक पहुंचाएं। इंशाल्लाह ताला आई विल प्रोवाइड यू द थिंग विच यू नीड। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर लिसनिंग। थैंक यू।